to tell you that healthy is not a size.
Nope.
Which is kind of an exciting thing, right?
It
takes a lot of pressure off of us, doesn't it?
It really does. So does God care what size you are? I don't think so, because he created you in his image. Does he care if we're healthy? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, or that, I think, to me, the way I always like to think about it is like, it's about the state of your heart.
Yeah.
Right? And if the state of, like, if your heart is in the right place and you're working on taking good care of the body that God's given you and you're a size 14, great.
That's right.
If you're a size 4, great. Like, it's not about what size you are. It's not about the number on the scale. It's about having a heart posture of surrender and of treating your body like a temple, not a trash can. And so I really don't think that God cares what size we are or what the number on the scale says.
Your size doesn't give you your worth.
Mm-mm.
You are a daughter of the King. You are made in God's image. You have a lot of value to bring to other people. God designed you specifically, individually, intentionally, and he gave you certain gifts and talents to use. If we're not healthy enough because we're treating our body like a trash can, that is a problem.
Big one.
So we need to become healthy, not so much worry about the size. We got to worry about our health so that we can live out the gifts and talents and our purpose that God has designed for us.
Mm-hmm. And, like we said, that kind of can take the pressure off, right? Because we know that we will reap what we sow.
That's
so
right.
If we start sowing good habits, healthy habits, if we start doing those 5 things that we've talked about are the healthy habits, drinking enough water, portion control, moderation, accountability, and movement, we will reap the rewards of those healthy habits. And so if you think about it like that, then ultimately we can completely take the pressure off the scale or the size.
That's right. And that is such a relief. Just let it go.
Yeah. And those things will come in time. And if you stop focusing so much on it, then the journey becomes more about honoring your body than it does about oh, did I drop 2 pounds this week? Or, oh, did I lose an inch? Or, oh, can I fit in the next size of clothes? Because ultimately that's a great, it's not a side effect. What do you call it?
Well, you're reaping the rewards.
Yeah, but it's it's a sidebar.
Yeah.
Because what we actually want is our health.
That's right.
Right? And living at a healthy weight is part of our health. So that will come.
It will. And so today, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about getting healthy. We want to congratulate you for doing day 1.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Woo! That's amazing, because I'm going to say, if you did smoothie day, or if you didn't and you did well in whatever you chose to eat, you should be proud of yourself, because you did it and you got started. That's one of the biggest things, is just to start.
Yeah, that in and of itself is a victory.
It is. So congratulate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah. And if you're here watching, say hello. Hello, Susan. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. And Susan, tell us, because you're the only one who said hello, tell us how you did yesterday. And what did you become aware of? Because today we want to talk a little bit about what we became aware of yesterday, especially if you did smoothie day.
Yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Yay!
Way to go, Susan. We're proud of you too.
We are really proud of you, because you got started and you did it.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that if we can, yesterday, the day, we always have a word for the day. And yesterday's word was action. We took action. We got started. And sometimes just doing that in a community helps us keep going. So today's word is committed. We know that if you did smoothie day, that you are committed. If you ate yesterday and you stayed on plan, you're committed. And I'm going to say, even if you fell off your plan a little bit, that doesn't mean you're not committed. Maybe you mindlessly stuck something in your mouth, because we've talked about that. That happens.
It sure does. Way more than we think about, right?
Then maybe you became aware of, wow, I do that a lot and I need to stop it.
Yeah.
So yeah, way to go.
So what did you become aware of yesterday?
Well, I want to say I became aware of, well, I'm going to back up. Some smoothie days for me are really easy. Some are very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And I really believe that depending on what you eat the day before, makes a big difference on how smoothie day. That's how my body is. What I eat the previous day makes my smoothie day go easy or hard. And so I was careful the day before. So yesterday was pretty easy for me. So that was just another aha moment, like aware of not eating a lot of, especially at nighttime, not a lot of junk, not a lot of carbs the night before. That makes a big difference for my body. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me becoming aware of my body. So you have to become aware of what works for your body, because we're all different.
Yeah.
What did you become aware of yesterday?
I think, so if you've been watching for the last few days, I did not do smoothie day yesterday, just given what I had going on in my life. So I just decided I was gonna just start.
And Bella, you didn't do smoothie day either. So that's great. Listen to what Casey's saying.
Bellis. We don't know your name
Bellis.
other than what your screen name comes up as, but so I did not do smoothie day. But what I really became aware of even more, like we know this, but it's just like the spiritual element of this journey, right? Because like here we are, and one thing that's super, super important to us is that we live with integrity, that we live what we teach, right?
That we mean what we say and we say what we mean.
And we live it. And, you know, we preach, but you know what I mean? We talk about living the 80-20 rule. So that means that like, we don't say we're never going to go to McDonald's again. We don't say we're never going to have this or that or ice cream or cake or whatever. Because we are, and we do. And that's how we live. And so, you know, so the whole point of me saying that is that it's very important to us that we live what we teach. And so here we are starting a new challenge, and I felt all day like all I wanted to do was eat. And I just felt like it was so hard for me to not, and I was eating, but like to eat all of the bad stuff, right? I wanted cookies and I wanted chips and I wanted fries and I wanted this, and I like all day. It was all I could think about.
It's a spiritual fight.
Yeah, because it's like the enemy doesn't want me to be living with integrity.
No,
he doesn't want me to be doing well on my health journey when I'm up here teaching you about it. He wants there to be lies and cracks and, you know, breaks in what we say versus how we live. And so that's really what I became even more aware of yesterday. Like we know that.
Yeah, we know it. But when you feel it, it's even more like, it's like,
Yeah. And so all day I was fighting this, like, no, I have to live what I teach.
Yeah.
Right. And I can't go pig out on all the junk food, especially not today when here we are talking about it's day one and it's smoothie day, right? Like, it just, so anyways, that's really what well,
that's really interesting because we know, like we talked yesterday, we have to put on the armor of God. And I know that you did well yesterday. I know that you fought against it. And that's what we have to do. But you have to do it too. We have to do it because we want to live with integrity. We don't want to do opposite of what we say. And, you know, I'm going to say sometimes in our relationship, like with my husband, I fight against that. And I know that's the devil as well. Mm-hmm. Like my husband will say, well, you can have an ice cream cone. And I'll say, no, I can't. I am teaching no sugar. And so,
or limited sugar.
Mm-hmm. But it's like, yeah, I can go and have an ice cream cone. I can choose to have it if I want to.
And we do sometimes.
But very seldomly do I go and have an ice cream cone.
Yeah.
But like my husband and I will have this friction. It's like, you can have that. It's okay to have it sometimes. And I'll say, yeah, but I'm doing a challenge. You have to support me in that. I have to feel good about what I'm teaching, about what I'm saying. And I have to live that. And I'll even, you know, we'll get into this argument. And I know that, you know, this is off the, you know, maybe going all off funny, but that's what we live with. And I know that that is the devil, and we have to put up our shield. We have to talk about those are arrows coming at us to make us fall and to trip us up. But we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. We can put on the armor of God because it's God's armor. It's not ours. So we can fight against it and we can win because we can be victorious.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Susan who said, I did make it through smoothie day. I learned I really need to lean into God as it got a little rough for a little bit. I stopped and prayed and made it through. That's amazing, Susan.
Way to go, Susan. That's a big win.
And doesn't it feel so, like, aren't you, you said you're so proud of yourself today, right? Because it's like, we can do hard things.
Yeah.
And I think, especially on a weight loss journey, we've failed so many times at all the fad diets that we have it in our heads that we can't do it. Right?
I know.
And so, but we can. And
I love it. I love it, Susan.
And our verse that we have for today is, I talked about it yesterday, and this is a different
this is a different version.
But
here it is.
2 Corinthians 12:9, my grace is all you need, for my power is the greatest when you are weak. And so it's like, we are so much stronger than we think, but we're only stronger than we think because of Christ in us.
That's right.
And so,
and I'm going to say, I think that's why sometimes when we don't surrender the journey, we fail, because the devil is coming at us and we don't surrender the journey, and we are going to trip up and fall then, because the devil's arrows are strong.
Well, and I just want to add to that. We've talked quite a few times in the last little while about, like, if you've ever watched the show The Chosen, and the intro with all of the fish, and then they're swimming in the opposite direction, right? And it's hard to go against the flow of our culture.
It's very
hard.
And
that's what we're trying to do here, right?
In fact, yesterday, we have a fair in town, and it was really hot yesterday.
Yeah, like out of the blue hot.
Yeah. So Casey's children wanted to go to the fair and go on the carousel. You know, so we took them there, and I said to Casey, oh, of all days, I'm going to have the smell of popcorn, and my weakness is popcorn. But you know what? I did it, and it wasn't really hard.
Yeah.
It was amazing. But that's because we surrendered the journey. Because I could have just gone in there and go, oh, I'm giving in. I'm going to go have popcorn. This is my favorite thing. It's only here once whatever it is, once or twice a year. But no. And we enjoyed the carousel. We enjoyed, watching them go through the obstacle course. And we did it on smoothie day.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of myself for that too. But we are stronger than we think, because going in there, I said, oh no.
Yep.
That smell gets me every time.
Yeah, exactly. But even that's just another thing to what I'm saying about, like, going against the flow.
Yeah.
Like, you walk in there, every second booth is food.
Oh,
it's deep fried chicken, it's French fries, it's popcorn,
candied apples,
it's smoothies, or like not smoothies, it's like slushies,
snow cones.
Yeah, snow cones, like every second booth. And it's like, and whatever, if you go there once a year and you have your favorite thing,
doesn't matter.
Great, good for you, enjoy it.
But not on smoothie day.
Well, not on smoothie day. But like, we have to start thinking about swimming against the grain.
Yeah.
And that's hard. And we did a video a few days ago about being uncomfortable. And that is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to swim against the flow, to swim against the grain.
And when everybody else is having it, sometimes we just get this in our head that, I want that too. Why can't I have it?
Yeah.
And we get in this pity pot mode. And it's like, no, stop feeling sorry for yourself. We're choosing to do this.
Yeah.
Let's find joy in the journey and be proud of ourselves because we did it.
Well, and let's just say, we think we want to eat all the stuff, but ultimately this journey is for our good.
Yeah.
Because we want to feel good, right? And when we're eating all that crap, we don't feel good.
That's right.
And so it's such a messed up mix mash of wires in our heads that tells us we want this, we want this, we want this, we want all the junk, we want all the processed crap. And the other side of our heads going, I want to lose the weight, I want to be healthy, I want to honor God with every decision that I make, all these things. And it's always in conflict.
That's right.
It's always in conflict.
And that is why we have to constantly surrender. And it's like a fast on day one, because you realize so many things, you become aware of so many things. So we have some more comments here, and more people maybe here. What else were you aware of yesterday? Like, did you mindlessly eat?
Yeah.
Were you like me and go, oh, I want that, and then I had to no, don't think like that. I'm choosing to do this. I get to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think it's Elaine. I think I'm getting it right. We feel so much better when we pass it up, don't we? We do.
Yeah, we do.
Like, sometimes we go through that dip where we do feel sorry for ourselves and we wish we were part of it and we wish we were tasting it and all the things. But ultimately we have to decide what we want. What do we want more? Do we want the taste in our mouth for 5 seconds, or do we want the long-term success of our goals towards health, towards reclaiming our weight, reclaiming our health, reclaiming our confidence in Christ? And so we've got to start asking ourselves the hard questions and sometimes do the hard thing.
I know, and I'm going to say, because those things are always in front of us. You go to the mall, well, there's the food cart or the food court. You go out with friends, they're ordering hamburger and fries. You know, you're going to order a salad and chicken or whatever. There's so many things, and tomorrow's Mother's Day. Okay, so
I better remind my husband.
I better remind mine too.
Funny.
It's just like there's always an excuse to feel sorry for ourselves if we're choosing to live healthy, right? So we just have to change our thought pattern. And I mean, that is such a big part of a weight loss journey, is our thoughts.
Yeah.
And we know, we talk about this, we know we can't control the first, we call it a thunderbolt thought or whatever. We can't control what we think of right off, but we got to take that thought captive immediately. Like, don't ruminate on it. We can't think, oh, poor me, I want that popcorn. Oh, poor me, oh, there it is again. Oh, I see someone else with popcorn. No, get it out of your head. Take the thought captive and say, I'm not doing it, so let's get over it.
Yeah, exactly. And I shared a couple days ago about this other account that I follow too.
Yes.
Life Unbinged is what her account is called. So she teaches different things than we do. She teaches food boundaries, so she doesn't do any sugar, no processed anything, which works for her. But what she always says that I think is so brilliant when we're faced with temptation, she's like, here's your 3-step plan for temptation. Stop, pray, and walk away.
Yeah.
Right? Stop, pause, think about what's going on, pray, ask God for help, because we know that like his power is made perfect in our weakness. So when we surrender it, you have the power to say no to that temptation.
You do.
Right?
But we have to do that.
And then we have to walk away, physically remove yourself, because when you're staring at it, well, how much you've made it exponentially harder now for yourself to say no to the temptation.
Yeah.
Right? Your chances of saying no go from, like, if you walk away, they're like here. If you stay and stand right in front of the temptation, what do you think your chances of actually saying no over, the next hour are? Pretty slim to none, right? We have to remove ourselves sometimes from the temptation.
Absolutely.
Because,
Like, don't be foolish, okay? We know that. We know that about ourselves. We know that our willpower is going to wane, because, let's face it, if you're hanging from a cliff, you're not going to last there for 2 weeks. You're not going to last there for a 10-day challenge.
You probably won't even last there for an hour.
In fact, at the fair yesterday, we didn't find out.
Yeah, we didn't.
This guy was like, there's a thing where you can hold on to the bar, and if I forget, and you win $100 or something if you can do it, if you can last 2 minutes. Well, don't you think the fair knows that most people are not going to last 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Your willpower is going to wane. You really want that $100. You really want that $100, and poof.
Mm-hmm.
That's such a good example.
It really is.
Yeah. Our willpower just isn't there.
Yeah. So the next time you feel tempted, which will be today, let's face it, okay? It will be today. Remember that. Stop, pray, and walk away, okay?
Do it for yourself.
Yeah. Sometimes we can't totally physically remove ourselves, but like you can turn around, right? If you're like at a party and the food's there, well, go to the other end of the room and turn around so you're not facing the food, right? Like go put yourself in the corner for a few minutes.
Yeah.
You get the point, right?
Spank yourself. Go put yourself in the corner. Tell yourself, talk to yourself, and surrender the journey, and then go back and join the fellowship, because that's what it's about. It's about fellowship and finding joy and not feeling sorry for yourself.
Because I have a birthday party to go to today, so I'm going to be thinking about putting myself in the corner. Anyways, that's funny.
That is funny.
Elaine says, we feel so much better when we pass it up. Yeah, we do.
Oh, you do. And when you leave, you just feel so good about yourself. And it's not, I'm going to say, be proud of yourself, but then thank God and thank Jesus that he helped you, because it's only by surrendering that we have the power. Yeah. We can't do it ourselves. It's through his power, we're weak, okay?
Yeah. Bella says, I didn't find yesterday or today hard, but I'm worried about day 5 or day 6.
Yeah, sometimes people It really depends on your personality, and it depends how much of a lifestyle this already is for you. There's a lot of factors that play into it.
So tell us, Bellis, what is making you feel concerned about day 5 or day 6? Like what aspect of it are you thinking about?
Do you have an event coming up, or is it that you only make it 5 days and then you fall off the wagon in the past, or what is it?
Yeah, tell us. I love being back to eating good. It tastes good and feels good too. Amen.
Oh, amen.
And Michelle, hi Michelle, doing smoothie day today. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Way
That's
to go,
awesome.
Michelle. We know that you can do it. Yes.
Stop and think, pray to the Lord and get out of there. Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it is through Jesus. So thank you, Lord. So, what else did we have? Okay, she says, I just know myself that I fall off the wagon after a while.
Yeah. And that's difficult, but we're going to say this time you're going to do it. We're going to believe, and we're going to trust, and we're going to keep surrendering every day, because we know that, like I just said, willpower wanes. We have to continually surrender. Every morning before you get out of bed, surrender your day, surrender your weight loss journey. Like, I'm going to say, you need to say those words. Jesus is with us in our weight loss journey. We don't even have to, we pray and say, oh God, be with me today. No, we're specific in talking about our weight loss journey right now. And we need to be specific. We need to pray specifically to help us with our temptation. And then we need to do our part.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm curious, Bellis, I don't know if we don't know who you are, because that's the only name that we see. So you can go ahead and tell us what your name is too. But I'm curious, like what type of plans have you been on before where that's when you've fallen off the wagon?
Right.
Because I think one thing that's helped me a lot on my weight loss journey is addressing
Cecile.
Cecile, thank you. I was having a hard time with that one.
We'll try and remember that.
Yeah. So one of the things that has really helped me is changing my thoughts about it, right? Like, I can go have whatever I want. You can go have whatever you want, but what do you want?
Yeah.
Right? So when it gets to day 5 or 6 and your head starts going like, oh, I want pizza or chips or chocolate or ice cream or whatever it is, like, you can go have it. But what do you want? Do you want that? Or do you want a healthy lifestyle? Do you want to lose the weight? What do you want? And acknowledging in your own head that you can go have it. Because, like, even the Bible says, everything, I always get it mixed up. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial.
Beneficial.
I'm having a very hard time with my words at the moment. Can't get Cecile. You better take over for a minute while I get my tongue untied.
Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. And that's so true. So, yeah, what is it that, what do we want? We have to ask ourselves the hard questions. We have to go deep in ourselves. Do we really want to live a healthy lifestyle? Do we really want our health? And again, in moderation, because we do live the 80-20 rule. But when we're trying to lose weight and we have a lot of weight to lose, we can't always do the 80-20 rule. Some people have a harder time losing weight, so they have to do the 90-10 rule. Or maybe the 95-5 rule. And if you don't know what that means, it means 90% of the time you're on plan. The other 10%, you're allowing yourself to have something off plan. And I'm not saying treat, because it really isn't a treat for your body. We talk about that sometimes. Like, what really is a treat for our body when we're thinking about health? It's not the chips. It's not the fries. And my stomach's growling right now. A treat for our body is something like blackberries or blueberries or an apple, or, maybe it's a healthy slice of bread. But a treat for our body is something that fuels our body well. That really is the treat. And we just use the word treat for an ice cream cone or whatever, but that's not really so good for our body, because we know sugar isn't good for our bodies. That's a proven scientific fact. That's not Ruth and Casey saying that. That's medically proven.
But I also just want to say too, like, this is a dangerous thing for me to say, but I'm going to say it. Depending on you and, some people, it's better to have none. Like, it's better not to have one bite, because then it just sends them off the rails. But I'm the type of person, you're the type of person who, like, you know, if your thing is pizza that always sends you off the rails, and by like day 5 or 6, you're like gonna go binge and throw everything out the back door because you need this pizza. Well, for me, I could go have one slice of pizza and a salad and feel satisfied then carry on. So if that's you, if your thing is a cookie, well, have one cookie, allow yourself one cookie and then carry on. And then that kind of can, like, you can let it go, because this isn't a restrictive lifestyle where we can't ever have those things. This is about every decision we make being to the honor and glory of God. And if Jesus were sitting at the table with you, you probably wouldn't have an entire pizza and then go grab a dish of ice cream.
But you might have a cup of coffee and a cookie with Jesus.
Yeah.
Because if you're proud of your baking or whatever, you're going to serve that to him. And I'm sure Jesus would eat it.
Yeah. Or if there's a pizza party, he would have a slice of pizza, but he wouldn't eat a whole pizza to himself.
That's right.
Right? And so it's like, but again, we have to be careful in saying that, because some people having one will completely derail them. But for other people, sometimes that's where the freedom lies in this whole journey, is that you can say yes.
That's right. And that's why we have to become aware of our own body. It's so important for you to know your body. And when we're eating processed food, and that's all we have in the house, that's all we've been doing, and we don't even recognize that we're feeling ill, we don't even know what is good for our body and what isn't anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Becoming aware and doing a plan like the 10-day WeighDown Plan, where this is not processed junk, it is actually good homemade food that fuels your body, we recognize so much. And then all of a sudden, maybe by day 3 or by day 5, we're craving the junk. Well, it's because our body is so used to junk, it is going to crave the junk.
Mm-hmm. But only for a little while.
Yeah, only for a little while, because it does get easier. Women who have been with us for a long time, they will attest to, wow, it's gotten so much easier. It's not hard anymore, because our tastes actually do change.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to that point, it's like, wow, this is it. You really do have freedom. And then we do have freedom to say, yeah, we're going to have a piece of pizza and we're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and we're going to have some veggies and a salad with it, or,
That's
you know,
right.
whatever it is. And so, yeah, that, I think ultimately for me, that's where I really found like freedom with food in this journey, because it's like, yeah, I can have that. I don't have to be restrictive and say no, 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 no. And like the Bible even teaches us that, right? Everything, like I'm probably going to mix it all up again. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. So you got to start living that way and asking yourself, like, is this beneficial for me?
That's right.
Is this decision to the honor and glory of God? And Cecile, I see you saying there, if Jesus is sitting at the table with you, that's going to help you.
Yes.
And that is such an incredible visual that just goes along with like all of the wisdom in the Bible. Let's do everything, whatever we eat, whatever we drink, to the honor and glory of God. And if he was actually sitting at the table with us, what decision would we make?
That's right. It would change so many of our decisions. But why do we have to
visualize that?
Why do we have to visualize it? Because he is there with us, right? We have to stop and become aware.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole thing, is being aware. It changes our whole journey, and it gives us joy, because we have to find joy in the journey. And when we actually begin to find the freedom with food, we have joy in freedom with food. You know, we can enjoy what we eat. And I mean, our recipes are so tasty and delicious. How can you not enjoy it?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful. I know you said it was. So and the other thing too is remembering, like yesterday we said, write in the chat, with God in the journey, I can lose the weight. Like, we have to start believing that it's possible, and
write it down. Do it again today. Do it right now. Type in the chat, I can do all things. It is possible. Like, write something right now, because it just makes it stronger. It makes it more accountable.
Mm-hmm. And like, we can build on that belief, right? For those of you who did smoothie day yesterday, or some of you are doing it today, I know Marsha, you're here saying you're doing it today.
Way to go, Marsha.
Way to go, Marsha. So we build the belief in ourselves, right? Every little step forward makes us believe that we can do it, right? And so we have to celebrate all of those small wins. And every day you need to celebrate a win that you had.
Every
right?
day.
Whether
Every
it's that
single
you
day.
drank an extra glass of water today and you go to pat yourself on the back and go, look at me taking a step forward. Whether
That's
it's
right.
that you moved your body today, whether it's that you said, no, thank you, whatever it is, you have to celebrate those wins and acknowledge them in your, like that you did this, right? With God's in the journey, yes, all those things, but you did it. You did the work. And so
You
every
took action,
time,
so be proud.
yeah, and every time that you do, you have to acknowledge it, because that is what begins to build the belief in yourself that you can do it. And I know for lots of us, for me included too, we don't celebrate ourselves because it's never enough, right? We've never done enough to feel like we can stop and go like, woo, I did it.
I know.
But you have, right? If you've done one thing, changed one good thing, made one healthy habit today, or worked at it, it's worth celebrating that win.
That's right. If you became aware of mindlessly eating yesterday, that's a win.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a little thing. That's a huge thing. If you became aware of your stomach growling and you went, oh, wow, my stomach's growling and hasn't growled for a long time. That's becoming aware. That's a win. If you got up off the couch and moved your body, that's a win. So celebrate the little things, because it's going to help you today and it's going to help you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And that's what builds the belief in yourself that you are able to do this, because it's hard, but you can do it.
So let's read this verse again. 2 Corinthians 12:9. You should write it down. My grace is all you need. Isn't that amazing? My grace is all you need, for my power is the greatest when you are weak. We are going to be weak in this 10-day challenge. We are going to have temptations. Our willpower is going to wane. But when we are weak, then he is strong. And we have to remember that. And we have to put the armor up every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So we were talking about healthy is not a size, and I don't know how we got here, but here we are.
Yeah. And healthy, so yeah, we wanted to say healthy is not a size. It doesn't matter what size you are. If you're healthy and you feel good and you're able to go out with confidence and carry out the work God has for you, that's what a healthy journey is all about.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to be able to do what God is asking you to do. We want you to feel good about yourself and feel good in your body, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're size 2, if you're size 18 and you're healthy and you feel good, be happy.
Yeah. And stop having unrealistic expectations for yourself for what size you want to be.
That's right.
Or how you want your body to look, because your shape, like we've talked about this so many times, but the body shape that you have now is going to be the same body shape that you have when you're done losing the weight, right?
That's right.
Like that's not going to change.
If you're a pear shape or an apple shape or an inverted triangle shape, whether you have 50 pounds or 100 pounds, your shape is still your shape, and it is a God-given shape.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, I often talk about, like, I have a bigger lower half of my body, and it's like, I've always wished I had skinny legs. I'm never going to have skinny legs. Like, get over it, Casey. That's just not the body that God gave you. And so, like, carry on and move forward, right? And so
accept what God's given you.
Yeah, and stop having unrealistic expectations, because sometimes I think to myself, like, oh, I should go lose another 10 pounds. That's still not going to make my legs skinny. Right? Like, and that's always why I think it, because I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh man, look at all that cellulite, right? Like, that's what I tell myself. And then I go, oh, I should go lose another 10 pounds. I'm still going to have cellulite. I'm still going to have bigger legs.
And you don't need to lose another 10 pounds. So,
but the point is, like,
we're never going to be happy, and we have to stop that.
Yeah.
We can be happy. We can be happy with how God made us.
Yeah, and stop having the unrealistic expectations.
That's right. And when those thoughts come into your head, which they will, which they do, we have to take them captive, just like you are. You're taking them captive and saying, no, that's not how it is. I'm going to be happy with how God made me.
Yeah, and I'm going to wear the shorts anyway.
That's right.
Right? Yeah, or the bathing suit or the thing, because, yeah.
So
I'm not going to miss out on life because I have a little cellulite.
No.
And neither are you. So.
Okay, so a size doesn't really matter. It's how healthy we are and how we feel, and are we able to live out God's purpose for us? That's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. But I think so often, like, again, it's just this spiritual element to this journey is that we feel unqualified.
We feel unworthy. We always look and compare ourselves with others.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, even with you and I, like we talk about this, we're very different shapes. I'm like my mother, Casey's like her father. Okay? And so there's nothing we can do about it. It's just how it is. I'm shorter, she's taller. I have a totally different shape than Casey. Casey's got a bigger bone structure than me. So she can't be me, nor does she want to be me.
No, but there have been lots of times that I have wanted to, right?
Yeah, to be a different shape.
Yeah.
A bit different. Yeah. But God made Casey the way she is for a reason. And God made me the way I am for a reason. So we have to learn to be happy with who God made us to be.
Mm-hmm. And we have to stop thinking that we're unqualified or unworthy for what God has called us to, because all you're doing then is like letting the enemy win. And like even here for me, like we're talking about this and our different shapes, like so often I think to myself, how can I tell people that I teach weight loss when I have cellulite and when I have, like I'm not a size 0, I'm not a size 2, I'm at a healthy weight for my body, but like, and so I feel unqualified sometimes because it's like, well, I don't look how I should look, but that's so silly, right?
So
and we're
silly.
not teaching, 6-packs and bodybuilding, right?
No.
Like we're teaching living at a healthy weight, and I'm living at a healthy weight. So why am I trying to unqualify myself? Why am I
don't want to teach starvation and anorexia.
No.
So yeah, we have to get over ourselves, and we are doing that ourselves. Okay.
Yeah.
So regardless of how you feel about yourself, know that we're no different than you. We struggle with the exact same things as you.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's hard to show up, right? It's hard to show up for all of these things that come our way in our life.
Yes, you can. And Casey's lost 150 pounds on the 10-day weigh down. So can you do it? Yes, you can. If she can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Because we're not relying on our own strength. We're relying on the strength of the power of the Holy Spirit within us.
Exactly. Yeah.
So go out and enjoy today. It's the weekend. Yeah, it's the weekend. So what are your plans for this weekend? Is anybody going out tonight? Let us know in the chat if you're going out tonight. Because
probably more people are tomorrow for Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But
you might be going out to, maybe you're going to, here's one thing. I would strongly discourage this. To go to a brunch.
A buffet.
Or a buffet.
Yeah.
It's way better if you're going out to order off the menu. And some places you can't when it's a buffet.
Yeah.
But I would strongly discourage that, because that is putting yourself in temptations, right? Like you're doing yourself a disfavor.
Well, and then we feel like we have to get our money's worth and go fill up our plate 18 times.
So if you're going to go out, then go out and enjoy something, but make sure that you're not overindulging, because this is a challenge. One of the challenges is to moderation and portion control, and overindulgence is not a part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so really think about what your choices are.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in temptation way. There's enough temptation without putting yourself there.
That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, enjoying the pool in your backyard. That sounds
awesome.
Amazing.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm jealous of that.
Yeah, me too.
Way to go, Elaine.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, I think that's about all for today.
We didn't actually talk about tomorrow, but this time is not going to work tomorrow because of church.
Yeah.
So,
how about, I'm going to say, do you know what, is 1 o'clock okay for you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we need to probably make a
we're
plan,
gonna
and
figure
we'll
it out.
post it on Facebook.
We'll post it in the Facebook group.
Yeah.
But we will be live tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, and it's Cecile. It's in Denmark. It's evening here, but it's been a beautiful day. We had an aurora borealis. Oh yeah, we did too.
We did
like
too.
a crazy one.
Yeah.
We call it Northern Lights, but that's probably
Aurora
the
borealis
technical
is right. Yeah.
term for it. Yeah, that's amazing.
Maybe it was all over the world.
Yeah, could have been. And Susan's just relaxing and going to her sister's tomorrow. Nice.
Oh, perfect, Susan.
Yeah.
Well, that should be not so hard.
Yeah. Well, depending. Who knows what's going on at her sister's.
Maybe she's going to have some, a lot of stuff out.
Yeah. First time you saw it. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. are we in California? No, we're in British Columbia, Canada. Yeah, we're good old Canadians.
But we're so glad that you're joining us from Denmark.
Yeah.
We want to go to Denmark.
Yeah, we do, definitely. And how cool is it that we're like all over the world? It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So go out and enjoy today. Go out and enjoy tomorrow. We are going to post in the Facebook group. In case you're not in our Facebook group, it's called Healthy Christian Living with Ruth and Casey. So you can join and we'll approve you there because we will post the time that we will be there. And we'll post it like in the Eastern Standard Time. So just check your time zone.
Yeah. Oh, and your dad was from Canada too. How cool is that? Where from? Let us know where in Canada he was from.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, we're West Coast. We live about 3 hours from Vancouver, 3 or 4, depending. Yeah. So we'd tell you the name of our city, but it won't mean anything to most of you. It's called Kamloops. Yeah.
Oh, someone's in Florida.
Oh yeah, Elaine.
Oh.
Sitting at her
no
pool.
wonder.
Yeah.
I was just in Florida, Elaine. I was at Fort Lauderdale, and I love Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Oh, and he was from New Brunswick.
Okay.
Very cool.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, we love where we live. We live in a desert. It's a semi-desert. So it gets very, very hot in the summer and it gets cold in the winter. So we get all 4 seasons and we do love it here.
Yeah.
So, okay, I think that's about it. So until tomorrow.
Till we let you know when.
Treat your body like a temple.
Not a trash can.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.